After a number of attempts, the European Union was able to create a currency, a single currency, covering most of the countries in it, but also hoping that the new ones that came in would soon use the euro as their only currency. This was the year 1999, and for a time it looked as if the euro was not going to have any mishaps and it was going to go smoothly ahead. Now, the euro has a certain number of conditions. Belonging to the Eurozone implies a certain number of conditions. And if everybody doesn't fulfill those conditions, then the currency is in danger. The main condition for the euro is that there should be no deficit in the balance of payments, one year with another, nor should there be a deficit of the budget. Why is that? Because the different members of the euro don't print it, don't make it, or it's a central bank that issues that money. And therefore, for any of the members to have euros for circulation, for people to use, they need to have more exports than imports for a time. These more exports and imports give them a fund of euros, which then they can use and hope not to lose by spending or selling too little abroad. Now, if you don't follow those rules, then the euro becomes fragile, since there will be some countries that need money and can't get it because nobody will lend any more to them and because they're not exporting enough. And this is what happened mainly in Greece, also in Cyprus, and it's almost happened in Portugal, in Ireland, in Spain, and perhaps in Italy. So those countries were not following the rule, which is a rule very similar to that of the gold standard. In the gold standard, a country that has no mining of gold, no mines of gold, has to get that gold by exporting goods more than importing. And therefore, we have to make an effort to have prices that allow you to export. So a second condition for having the euro and being able to be comfortable in it is to have a flexible system of prices and wages. If you price yourself out of the international market, then you will not be able to sell enough and you will be lacking euros. So it's very important to have flexible wages. Since a country that doesn't have enough exports cannot devalue if it is in the euro, it has to stick by the euro, there should be what is called internal devaluation. That means reducing costs internally so as to be able to go on selling abroad. The country that mainly did that in the year 2000 was Germany. They were in trouble, their balance of payments was losing, and therefore they needed to change the situation, and Chancellor Schröder did that by having a huge reform of trade unions, of wages, of prices, and so on. And that reform was so hard that he lost the next elections and the Socialist Party, his party, was split in two. So you need to have flexibility of wages and flexibility of prices. And that is quite a high condition in the modern world where we live. Finally, well, what are the advantages of the euro? My gosh, I made it such a difficult thing to be in that there must be something for it. And the for it is that it reduces transaction costs when you buy in one country or sell in another country. You don't need to go and change your pesetas into pounds or your pounds into Deutschmark and therefore be able to either pay or sell your wares. So it makes life easy for companies. It makes life easy for the tourist to have a single currency that is usable all over the Eurozone. Well, whatever the advantages, it's had a very difficult time, and it's been saved from mishap by one fundamental reason. The euro is a political currency. It's there to make the European Union more tightly integrated. And on the euro notes, I have here a 50 euro note, there are bridges. All the notes of the euro have bridges on them. And that means that they want to open bridges between the members of the Eurozone. Unfortunately, those bridges do not seem to have worked well with a single rate of interest for the whole of the Eurozone. Coins have on one side the King of Spain or the Republic of France and so on, so coins are not so important, but this idea that you should use this to integrate the European zone is something that has made some people not be very happy. And you have some countries that are in the Eurozone, that are in the European Union, and not in the Eurozone. Denmark, Sweden, and most notably the United Kingdom. And so the euro is still touch and go. And I hope, for the sake of those who invented it, for the countries that are in it, that it will go on using as a currency all over the Eurozone.